It's that time again. FAGASA, which is the Field Guide Association of Southern Africa, presents the Safari Guide of the year 2022. My name is David Batsoffen, and together with FAGASA, I present In Conversation With. And my guest today is the founder of the Safari Guide of the Year Awards. That's Mike Karantonis. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks, David, and yourself. Good to see you.
Very well, thank you. Where do we find you today?
I am in the Lowveld in Nelspruit on a farm.
Okay.
Where I live on the interims between safaris around the continent.
Fair enough. So I'm hoping that by doing this chat with you today, we'll find out about Mike, sort of a bit of the story behind the song. But before we get into that, how did this all start? How did Safari Guide of the Year begin? Did you sort of wake up one morning and go, hang on a second, I have an idea?
Well, I was a guide for 12 years at a safari company and had moved through the different ranks, and then eventually got an opportunity to be a co-owner in a travel company. And I knew that there was going to be a changeover of time of when I would go from guest coming into a corporate environment to my private guiding venture. And I realized how hard I'd worked for those 12 years, and I had some time on my hands, and I just, I know how critical an experience for a guest's travel to our country from start to finish are orientated around guides, and there's so many guides that do a great job. And there's very little praise when I know that they are ambassadors to our country, they're custodians of our wildlife. When you compare our title in a job position as a game ranger or a field guide, it gets painted with the same brush of just a holiday job or some sort of it's really just fun or something to do for a couple of years while you decide what to do with your life. But there's actually a really big, heavy handful of professionals that have done it for 15, 20 years, have all of the qualifications you can obtain. And they are doctors in their fields. They are professionals in their fields. And I just wanted to elevate their career status to something that gives them a recognition of the professionals that they really are, and the responsibility they carry as on their shoulders, to just put them up on a pedestal and give them some recognition for a change.
Great. So, well, with that in mind, how difficult was it to choose the finalists for 2022?
Yeah, it was difficult. It's when you get to that level of what we're looking for in the preset, the prerequisites from it, the guys are all at a level where they are of a very high caliber. So it is quite difficult, actually. Okay.
And if you were to give your finalists at this particular point a word of advice, what would it be?
Well, I think it would be to enjoy it. I know you're very nervous is always terribly nervous going into it because of the fact that you were lost a long time ago in a situation where you have people judging you and assessing you, and they got into a level where they've acquired most of the stuff, so they don't need to go through that again. But to try and enjoy it, because it's a time in a beautiful place with very like-minded people, and I'll just advise them in the beginning that, trust me, it's going to be one of the highlights of their career. So just enjoy it. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It is indeed. What should they be concentrating on at this particular point in the run-up to the event?
It's a kind of a little bit of a giveaway, really. I shouldn't be saying anything because if you ask the question, I always find it a very important thing to do building up to Safari Guide of the Years, which they should actually do in their own sort of mental prep, is the local knowledge. Like if they're coming from different areas, or if it's not an area they're familiar with, just research and be prepared for the area that they're going to be operating in. because even when I travel around to different places, I just so depend on a local guide's local knowledge. It makes you so much more productive when you're there in terms of finding game and knowing the history. So a lot of research on the area that we're going to, both of terrain, history, whatever it is, just so you can maybe even feel a little bit of at home, even though you're away from home. It gives you great strength when you have a good understanding of a new place.
When it comes to storytelling, because that's one of the activities that you guys, the judging panel rather than you guys, marks on, is less more?
No. When you say less and more, that's quantitative. That's a what, but it's more the how.
Okay.
It's done. Because we've had long stories that have captivated us for the entirety of the story, and we've had stories that are 10 minutes or not even 7 minutes that have blown us away.
Yeah.
And vice versa, long stories that we want to do fall asleep, and short stories where we think what just happened. So it's very much the how more than the more or less. It's very how orientated. It's delivered.
Sort of read the room, people, or should I say read the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
How strict are you going to be as a judge, given that at some point in your career you were also in a similar position where at the beginning you also had to learn all of this stuff? Some of it may have been new, some of it may have been difficult for you. So what criteria do you mark to?
Yeah, well, I am quite strict for two reasons. One is that everybody, when you said I was in a similar situation in the past where everybody was strict with me, and it's only because they want the best for me. And also I'm strict on it because it's a very big accolade. It's not something you pin on your shirt, walk around with, and don't have it well deserved. So it is quite a strict process, and obviously all of these guys are very charismatic. That's how they've done so well, because not only as a naturalist are you good with the fauna and the flora and the tracking, etc., they're very good with people. So they have a way of squirreling themselves into your heart, which softens you along the way. But you do have to press the refresh button and sort of reestablish the purpose of this, and give someone who deserves something that is a great accolade that they can wear with pride. And then also us as judges know that everything was done by the book. It was strict. There was no favors for people. So it's quite a strict thing in my own personal opinion.
So with the finalists, we know how they're preparing. There's work to be done. There's bird calls to learn. There's birds to ID. Maybe go for a walk to do some track and science. Maybe if they've got the time and the money, do some shooting. But how does Mike Karantonis prepare himself to be a judge?
I pack my bag and I make space in my calendar right from the beginning, or just as soon as the next one's done, I make sure my calendar's open for the next one, because I don't enjoy missing them. They're great fun. We all learn so much from each other, so it's a learning process. I think having done this for 11 years and being a founder and a creator, the preparation, I think, more is in the excitement of growing this organically and seeing it evolve on its own. So you can't really, like for the candidates, for example, there are, as you said, stuff they can do to prepare, but they'll do better the more they come as themselves. Because that's a true reflection. And I do the same thing for myself, is I just go there as me, because I think each person has the value that they can contribute in their own way by just being true to themselves. I prepare by getting excited, looking forward to it, and like you said in your previous question, being mentally unmanipulatable. But no, not too much prep that goes on, other than getting in the right mind frame, being excited, and it's all embedded deep inside because it's been going for so long, and it's something that comes from very close in my heart. So yeah, I just want to be there.
Great stuff. And finally, what is the one thing that you do not want the finalists to know about you until the competition is over?
Well, yeah, if this is aired after the competition, then it's funny because everyone will have access to, I think, something about me that they don't know, or you don't want them to know.
Up to you. You can make the choice. Because as you point out, if they watch this before, then they'll know it.
Yeah.
But if they don't, then they won't.
I don't think that there's anything in particular, Dave, that comes to the top of my head that I don't want them to know before the competition. I'm also a very transparent person. You know, I speak at how my thoughts are.
Yeah.
And I have everybody's goodwill at the front of every thought that I have. So no, I don't. There's no big surprises.
Okay.
I'm just like you said earlier, I'm just like them. I've been there before. But yeah, it's I have no secrets.
Mike, thank you so very much for chatting to me. I look forward to spending time with you once again. I do enjoy being in your company
You too,
at the event. And we will see each other, all being well, in June.
I'm very excited. Thanks for your time as well, David. I appreciate it very much.